welcome, focus camera, to another Wheelchair Wednesday here at the Wheelhouse. Today is a beautiful Friday afternoon here in sunny Michigan. It's about 71 degrees in the Wheelhouse, feeling pretty good. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. This is a live show, folks. Try to do it every Wednesday. Today, we have a special guest coming to us all the way from California. Got a lot to talk about. Going to go over our questions, all the fun stuff. But before we do that, oh yeah, I got to let you know, I am a T3, T4 paraplegic myself. I always forget to tell you guys that. You know, I have all my stuff on the YouTube channel. If you want to hear about the story, check that out. Otherwise, let's get to this next guest here on Wheelchair Wednesday at the Wheelhouse. Welcome. All right, y'all, let's welcome Amy Clare to the show. Hello, Amy. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Give me 1 second. Want to see why my camera's not showing up here. Oh, there we go. All right, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
We talked a little bit before we went live. Now, you're from California. Have you lived there your whole life?
Pretty much. Yep. Aside from, no, yeah. Yep.
Nice. What part? Northern or southern? They say NorCal or SoCal.
Northern.
So you're NorCal. Nice.
Yeah, NorCal.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, the first question is kind of an introduction to who you are, what happened. Why don't you go ahead and tell people about, you know, how your accident happened, and then your level of injury and stuff like that.
All right. So I am a C6-7 complete quadriplegic, and I wrecked my car when I was 18, and I worked late, and I was driving up to see my boyfriend and surprise him before he went to work, so I didn't sleep much. My mom told me to get sleep and told me to get coffee, and I left, and then I sped all the way there because I knew I was falling asleep, and I don't remember the drive, but I ended up rolling down the summit side over side 5 times, and it's probably, I veered towards the center divide, probably overcorrected, we think, and rolled down the summit, and then my car landed on top of me, which squished my C6-7 and broke C3 to T3. And cars behind me called it into the Truckee Fire Department, and they came, rolled my car off of me, and flew me to Washoe ICU, where I was there for a month as I learned how to breathe and swallow again. And then I went to Craig Hospital Rehab for 3 months to learn how to live and stuff like that. And I had a traumatic brain injury as well. So yeah, that was, and then I had some internal injuries, but nothing as serious as a lot of people.
Right. And how long ago was that?
2004, November 20th, 2004.
Wow. So that's been a while ago.
Yeah, almost 20 years in November.
So yeah, you're what we would call an OG in the game. You've been around for a while. You've lived it. You've done it. And it looks like you're living good. I mean, you look good. You look like you're happy and good spirits.
Yeah.
What's your secret?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I would have to say the swimming, physical therapy, and, well, you know, always trying new things. So, when I was at Craig Hospital, they got me into the pool, you know, and had me doing just simple water resistant exercises sitting there. And I'm like, hey, can I go under? And they're like, okay, sure. So they let me go under, brought me back up, and then I was like, do you want to try it alone? And I'm like, yeah, let's see if I could do this. So I fell in love with the water. And then my mom is an incredible teacher and person overall. And when I got home, and so is my dad. And so
yeah, don't leave Dad hanging out there. Come on now.
I know, right? Yeah.
Shout out, Dad. We got you back, bro.
He'll watch this. I know it. And so when I got home here in this house, which I grew up in, the community had remodeled my room. This is my room. It was the garage. So I have my own roll-in shower and bathroom and such.
Nice.
And my mom started bringing me to physical therapy 3 times a week. So at in Folsom at the pool, aqua therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and they taught me how to swim laps and be independent in the water, and do water resistant exercises, the whole 9 yards. And so I really think that that has kept me going. It's definitely kept me in shape because, we are always on a lot of medication at the beginning and maybe throughout the whole journey. And those usually have side effects of, like, water retention and weight gain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that that's really something that has kept me going, especially the people that I met during physical therapy, so all my physical therapists, all the people that I met at every time I went to the water, I think that that's just something that really kept me going.
Now, were you a water person before this happened, or?
No, I wasn't. Good question. No, I wasn't, not at all. I mean, before this happened, I liked to run on my own, not like with a team. I wasn't a sports person because I didn't like teams and competition. I didn't like competition.
Right.
I was a solo person, and I just was doing junior college and working at Applebee's, and so that was all I did, and so I could swim. My my dad took us camping every year when we were growing up, and we would swim across the lake and stuff. But now I do it. I join a few competitions, and I do. My goal is to do this open water swim, which comes up in June, which
What
is
is
one
that? So that's
mile.
like a competition, huh?
It's a competition, but I'm like the only quadriplegic who's done it.
Wow.
So, um, so for me to complete it would be amazing.
That'd be a feat, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I give you props. I'm not a water person myself, and they were talking to me, in rehabilitation about getting into the water and doing aqua therapy. My only bad downfall about that is my ears. Like I get a ear
Oh.
infection so bad, so it's like
Hmm.
it's like I don't know if I want to risk it. You know what I mean? And I've never really been a water person, so I thought about getting a hot tub. I'll come meet somebody in the middle, get a hot tub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe soaking that. Maybe that'll help.
Oh,
Um,
it helps a lot. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, after hearing that story, it makes me want to get in the water and check it out.
Earplugs, I mean,
Yep.
I never got ear infections before, but now that I heard that that's something that happens when you're older, which you're very young, but um, earplugs,
All right, for sure. Thank you, Ben Insider and Jody, for sharing this. Everybody for being here, Michael. So the next question I got for you is, if you could go back, it's I have it written down as, would you walk if you could? And what I mean by that is, if you could go back and completely stop that from happening to you, and then live your life as you would have without a spinal cord injury, would you go that route, or would you stay the way you are now?
I would go back and listen to my mom, who told me to get more sleep because she was smart, and and be only because of to save my suffering and pain and my family's suffering and pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, just I to not dishevel everyone's lives and have to um, go through all of these, uh, all the trauma. So I would take that back. I'm pretty sure there are other ways that I could have learned what I've learned in the past 20 years. There are other ways I could have grown up. So I know I'm happy that I've met the people that I've met and that I've learned what I've learned. Like everyone says, we learn a lot
Mm-hmm.
going through what we go through. However, I do wish I could have learned it a different way.
Right. Do you think it's brought your family closer, having to go through
Yeah,
this?
it's brought me closer to my family. Um, because I was definitely not as close to
Mm-hmm.
my family. Um, I know some of us, but we could have come together other ways.
Right. There's always another way to do it. Right.
I'm
Sometimes it's
like,
just
come
not in
on.
the cards. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
always tell people, I mean, if you believe in, Christian values, I always say, God,
Yes.
God has a plan, and don't think that he doesn't have a sense of humor, because I mean, before my
Yeah.
accident, 4 days before my accident, I prayed for God to come into my life and change my life and the way I was
Oh,
living.
really?
And then, like, now that
Yeah.
I was here, I'm looking back and I'm like, well, this is not exactly what I meant, but thank you for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm
Yeah.
definitely a different person. I'm living a different life than I would have been otherwise.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I definitely changed a lot, and I definitely have a lot more God in my life, and I finally have come to loving the same religion as my parents, which is incredible. And
Hmm.
so, that kind of stuff. I've been to several different churches throughout the journey as well, which have helped a lot along different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it does. Um, what about dating? Married/married. What about
living
that?
single life.
Living the single life, huh? Hold on, I gotta hit the button. Watch out, guys. She's single. Now, has it always been that way? You said you were rushing to meet your boyfriend right at the
So
time, or how did
yeah,
that happen
I had
afterwards?
yeah, he was like I would say the first love of my life. And so I was really going up to see him just about every chance that I got, and I wanted to meet him before he went to work. So he stayed with me after the accident, and we were together. I don't know how long after. My memory's pretty bad because of the traumatic brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he stayed with me, and we were going to get married, and then with everything that I was going through, um, personally, I called it off and I broke it off because,
Really?
yeah,
Wow, I did
because
not expect that. That's a twist.
yeah, I was going through, just, well, I had nerve pain and peripheral nerve pain in the beginning, but then 3 years after, I ended up starting to get abdominal visceral pain,
Mm.
and I didn't know how to handle that. And I didn't feel like when we talked about it, I got very much support, and I didn't feel the love. And I was like, I don't think I want to live life. Like, I don't think we're meant to be married living together. And I just it was kind of like, I'm a different person after the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like as much rock and roll. I'd really like to listen to some peaceful music. I'm
Yeah,
like,
throw some
I,
old bluegrass on, hillbilly. I don't know, some country, some
yeah,
blues, even. Who
yeah.
knows? Yeah.
Right. Something a little like, I was a different person before the accident for sure. So what I was going through, I didn't know how to find myself again. And I just really got cold feet, and I was like, I don't know who I am, and I don't know who you are. And so, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I feel that.
I've dated a few times since in the 20 years that I've been injured.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been in relationships, and I was married for 5 years,
Oh,
um, and been divorced for 3. And it was a good marriage. I wouldn't say I would just say it didn't work out. We both, looking back, we're like, we should have been friends
right.
instead of trying to be married. But we're still friends, and
That's good.
always will be there for talking to each other. So, yeah.
Absolutely awesome. Blessings, Quad Life. Thanks for joining us. Um, yeah. So that's. I mean, so you're still open. You've had relationships. You know it's doable.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you've learned your lesson to kind of let's take it easy and see, make sure maybe you know what I mean. Like I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have mine, and she stayed with me. So it's like you know what I mean, to hear
Oh,
everybody's progression and how they dealt with it and what's going on. Kind of,
I feel
it's a
like
different story for
everybody's
everybody.
yeah. Everybody's so different, and
Hmm.
I think that it's the same. My mom will always say, like, it's the same for people who are not disabled. However, just a little more a little more of a twist thrown in there, but people when you're living with people or marriage, it's different for everybody.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing that. The next question I got for you is pet peeves. What is your biggest pet peeve about being in the chair?
I would have to say it's the fact that you kind of feel sick every day. Or most days you're the variety of the way that you feel could be from like death to superhuman, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of like I would say that's my pet peeve is that some days you just feel so sick and it's really just your spinal cord injury or it could be a secondary condition.
Right.
And that you have to push through every time. So
Yeah, I've never heard that answer before. It's funny you say that. In the whole 50 something episodes we've done, that's the first time I've heard that. So congratulations on that. But it does make you think, like, like for me personally, it's some days I'll wake up and my back just hurts like so bad for some reason. I don't know why. I don't feel like doing anything. It almost feels like, you know what I mean? You got in a big party or something the night before, and you just kind of want to lay in
uh-huh.
bed. Other days you'll wake up and you'll just feel like 100%. You know what I mean? Like you drank all your water and everything's flowing great, and
Yeah.
yeah, so I can
And
understand that.
yeah, it's a miracle. It's like yeah, my mom will say it's like, well, if I'm having a really, really, really bad day, she's like, well, then maybe tomorrow will be a really, really great one.
Right, right. It's good advice. Um, what is something that you wish you could do now that you can no longer do?
I want to dance like I used to dance. I can still dance in my chair. I go out dancing. I go to karaoke. I even get complimented on the way that I dance in my chair. But I wish I could dance the way that I used to dance.
Now, when you say dance, you just mean like kind of like you see at clubs, or what do you mean?
Yeah,
Just
at
like a
clubs and
salsa, or
slow dancing and just, just bending my hips and
get
standing
getting jiggy with
and
it.
yeah, getting jiggy with it. And I mean, for a quadriplegic, I'm very lucky, that I can sit up straight, that I can move my hips.
Right.
If my brakes are off, I can swivel, all that stuff, but it's nothing like standing and dipping
Yeah, actually
and
doing it. I used to like dancing myself. I now that I think back at it. And the bad part is once you get the drinks flowing, you really think you're the best dancer, but looking back at it, you're probably not. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, just getting out there and moving again and actually feeling it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you used to. It's not the same.
yeah.
Well, that's understandable.
I
Um,
I go out every Saturday. I made some friends at the gym who play music.
hmm
And so every Saturday I go out to the river, or most Saturdays, and they play music and I'm able to just be free and like dance in my chair and sing with them and stuff. So it's I very important, I think,
all right.
to move your shoulders, do what you can. But
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, use what you can, what muscles you can use. I mean, I still wish to this day I had just a little bit of ab function. You know what I mean? Like,
God, me
because I'm a
too.
T3, T4, I'm like, just give me a little bit of abs and I'd be good. Jeez.
I'm gonna be the first quad to build a six pack, I swear it.
There you go. You heard it, folks. Yeah, I want to see that. That would be, and
Oh
you
yeah.
got these guys out there that do this bodybuilding, and I'm sure you've seen it, like the buff
Oh
guys, the
yeah.
jack dudes. I'm like, man, like
Hmm.
that's got to take some discipline to get up every morning and like just have to go to because you got to get up, take shower, go to the
Oh yeah.
gym, do all this stuff, and then like watch your diets, and it's a lot of work.
Hell yeah, it is. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
Let's
Well,
do it.
it kind of actually brings me to my next question, which is pain. What about your pain? Any pain you deal with? Obviously.
I have a lot of pain. I had one doctor who I was inquiring about it, and he said, "You're just a painful quad," and
Well, that's helpful.
that is the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and that helped me accept it. But like I said, I think I said earlier, I had the peripheral pain since my injury, legs and arms too, because I'm a quad. But then like later on the abdominal pain started, and it started out small and then it got worse and worse, and now it's chronic, and it really affects the way that can what I can it's not just what I eat, but it's eating itself
Mm-hmm.
is a painful task. And so waking up every day and breathing is painful. It's the visceral system. It's all of your autonomic nervous system. So I'm a ball of pain, and I would say that that's the worst part. I was on Lyrica. I've been on Lyrica since the beginning, and they had me on the maximum dose for many, many years. I've tried going off of it 2 or 3 times in the 20 years, and I finally just last week was able to take away that last little capsule at night, and now I'm on zero Lyrica, and I have never lived without it in 20 years.
Wow.
So
I'm
I
gonna give you a
have,
round of
I'm
applause for
finally,
that.
yeah, finally able to control my spasms and breathe and live without it. But the autonomic dysreflexia, it's a pain in the ass, you know.
So that happens to you probably more often than most because I mean you're a quad,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like I mean because you can get AD with anything.
Oh yeah, it just any little discomfort,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm still figuring out. I'm like, why is my body telling me that I'm in discomfort? Like I'm like, shut up, just shut up, man.
Right.
But lots of Motrin, lots of Tylenol. Um, so I'm in a lot of pain, and I've also done in the past, you know, acupuncture, um, pain meds. I've actually abused pain meds. Um, after college, and had to rehabilitate. I've been I've an alcoholic for a little while and had to stop drinking, you know, all because of the stomach pain. And
Right.
um, so I've actually started looking into maybe a spinal cord stimulator. They're a new thing,
Yeah, I was about to say I ain't
and
heard about that.
yeah, they're usually used for peripheral pain though, not abdominal. There's not a lot of research and proof that it would help with visceral pain in a quadriplegic.
Right.
So I would be one of the first to try it for that. It's a big thing. I would have to, you know, have a lot of help from my parents and my mom, especially for like the trial of 2 weeks. They can do a trial.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking about that. I just saw the doctor yesterday. But I would have to do it after I try swimming that 1 mile. So
Yeah, you got to get that done first.
yeah,
Absolutely.
lots of pain. Lots of pain. I understand the
Nice.
pain meds.
Lyrica is what they say is my alternative because right now I'm on gabapentin. And
Yes.
I take it 3 times a day, 800 milligrams 3 times a
Yes.
day. So it's like it's getting up there. But the thing is, it's like it does help me. I notice when I'm not on it. You know what I mean? And when I do take it, it does help with the pain. So for
Uh-huh.
me, it's like I'm kind of like I hear all these people with these stories like, oh, I got off everything, I'm off it, and I'm like, I couldn't. I don't think I could. You know what I mean?
No,
It'd be
it's not your
scary.
time. When it's your time, maybe, but I guarantee you, I had to be on Lyrica for as long as I was.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right. For sure. Maybe that's just the thing. You got like one day your body will just kind of tell you. Maybe.
maybe.
Spinal cords are still weird. To this day, they still don't know everything there is to know about them. I hear this all the time.
Yeah.
Um, my next question to you is what helped you the most after your injury?
Um, I would say, uh, people, not only my family, but just all of my entire support community. Um, everywhere that I've been in life, which has been several places in California, like, um, you know, my physical therapist when I first got home, they were incredible, incredible people. Every single one of them, because I saw different people. I went for 20 years, 3 times a week. So, or two or three, even during college. Everyone at college, all of my professors, all of my friends, that my roommate in college. I hope she sees this. And then then, after college, my coworkers where I worked, just everybody, then like everyone at every church that I've ever been to, people really got me through, and especially those who could um, listen and support or be my friends. I still have a college friend that I see who
Nice.
lives around here, and she's just an incredible people that I can look up to and live and learn from,
Right.
and that are also cry in front of at the gym, or when I have the gym that I have is my second family, and I couldn't live without this gym. I go, almost every day to try to get up to that mile and those abs,
Right.
and
And they're helping you work
they
towards that.
they are like when I go and I'm like, I can hardly do anything. I don't know if I'm going to swim well. They're like, it's all in your mind, and I
Right.
go, oh. Then I'm swimming and I'm like, it's in your freaking mind, you know.
Heck yeah.
you you've got
They're
legs,
good
use them.
motivators. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so it's really just the people that you have in your life. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of people, just want to say what's up to Ben. Ben said he's going to try another epidural in 3 weeks on his back. We'll see how that goes. He's got a really bad back. He's not in a wheelchair yet, but it's looking towards it. I think his spinal column is given out, like in between it. The tissues are starting to give out or something. He explained it to me once, but it sounds painful. Like he's already fell a couple times. My buddy Mike says he's got a spinal cord stimulator. It saves him from taking any more pills for his back. So sounds like
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, there's a support group on Facebook and I hear good stories. I don't know if there are many people quadriplegics, who've done it.
What support group are you talking about on Facebook?
It's a spinal cord stimulator support group,
Oh,
SCS
nice.
support group. Yeah. But there aren't very many quads or paras
Right.
that I know of.
Hmm. Well, we'll have to keep track of that and see what happens. He said he did
Yeah.
his trial for only a week because it worked so well, and they scheduled his surgery. That's nice.
Nice. I'm curious.
I've tried. I wanted to try the. It's not called acupuncture, but it's like spinal relief, where they take the needles and they go along your back. You ever heard of that?
No, I did do acupuncture, but I haven't heard of that. I'm sure it does help because acupuncture does.
Right. Right.
But only while you're doing it, really. I don't know about, yeah.
Afterwards, right.
That would be cool.
What
You
about
have to
hobbies?
keep doing it too.
Let's talk about hobbies before and
Um,
after.
so hobbies before were just not too many extracurricular, like just work in school. And then afterward, it's been the swimming and art and karaoke and friends. So,
Karaoke, I like that. Karaoke and friends, that's all you really
yeah.
need, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the swimming really and the art and then yeah, that. So,
Nice. Is there anything that you are looking forward, like you want to try to do in the future that you
well,
just kind of haven't worked up to, or?
I always like trying new things, so like um there's not I really am committed though to
Yeah,
um
the swimming. I want to see
yeah.
that. You're gonna have to let us know, and like I tell everybody, we'll keep you on the list to check back with you and see how you've been, see how you're
Okay.
doing. So watch out for that, everybody. Now, the next question I got for you is about traveling. Do you travel at all? Do
Yeah.
you like it?
Yeah. My older sister's in Colorado, so we fly there. And I've flown to North Dakota for a family reunion by myself. So I've traveled and I've done car trips with my parents and ex-husband as well a couple times, but I don't with the autonomic dysreflexia in the car and also on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's been hard to figure out. I did figure out this last trip in last month. that putting my seat cushion gel, the gel that's in my cushion, on the airplane seat helped with my dysreflexia on the way home. But on the way there, it was unbearable. I had to keep shifting my weight and lifting up and, breathing through it.
Oh yeah, I can
and
imagine.
and it was just like, cathing. Like, I had the mitrophanol surgery,
Hmm.
so I catheterized through my belly button. So when we're on the plane, my mom can just hand me my bag, and I get a window seat. I scoot over to the window, and so there's no one over here, and my mom's right there. So I just get my bag and I cath into a Gatorade bottle through my belly button. So, but with the dysreflexia, I'm like, I think I might have to pee. And I'm like,
You don't know
let
what's
me
going
cath.
on, right? Right.
You never know. And so, luckily, I don't really have involuntary bowel movements. So, I know it's not that. But I do get confused. I'm like,
Right.
well, shit, maybe this is one of those times that it'll be a rare moment.
Oh,
And,
wouldn't that be the worst on a flight on an airplane? Could you imagine?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no. And so, and once it was my bladder, but I had tried cathing, and there was nothing, and then we got off the plane and I had peed so much that my mom had to like protect the aisle chair, so, and then change me in the airport. I lift up and she like pulls off my pants and underwear and pulls them back on.
right.
But luckily I can lift myself. So traveling for me, it's uncomfortable. I do like doing it, but it's uncomfortable. And I'm actually going on my first solo trip with a girlfriend of mine who's a paraplegic for my birthday in April. We're going to drive to Pacifica. So
Nice.
it's only like a 2-hour drive, but it'll be my first time like bringing my shower bench and doing my whole bowel program and everything on that shower bench with a para in the room, like by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I did it by myself our last trip, so I know I can do it. Um, but if something goes wrong, we're having to call 911 or something.
Call the firemen. One thing I've learned is that if you call 911 and they send like an ambulance crew, they're gonna send you a bill. Do not call that. Call the fire department and they will come for free and they will help you. Little tip.
We did that just last weekend.
The fire
The,
department.
the fire department, because I was at her house, and now that I'm not on Lyrica, my spasms are worse. My tone is worse. So I was getting on my shoes to leave, and I go to pull up my left leg, and I just fell right over
Oh no.
onto the ground. So she and I tried to get me up, to no avail, and we had to call the fire department. Yeah, which easy in and out, but
Yeah, and it's never like you think it is. Like in the movies and TV, you call the fire department and they come and it's like this dude with a shirt off and like suspenders, and he's like, "I'll help you." No, they come and it's just like they come
they were
lights and
nice looking
sirens, and
men.
yeah,
They
they're.
were nice looking men.
Oh man.
We're both single.
Oh, there you go. See, trying to check it out it's 2-for-1 special. Not only did it come to help you out, but could get a date out of it. You never know. Well, the last one I got for you, and before I get to that one, I've been asking people this because not a lot of people do. Do you have a manual chair? Do you just use a manual, or do you use power chair as well?
I have a manual, a power assist, and a power chair.
Okay.
So because I'm a quad, and because I have so many other secondary issues, like just I feel sick a lot. Weak quite a bit.
Hmm.
But I like to push. And so luckily, when I was looking for a power assist and I was looking to get a grant for one, it's called a ZX1. Um, Luckily, when I was looking for one of my friends who has a nonprofit, she um, heard about it, and I'm driving around with it on my manual chair right
Oh,
now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
It just lifts up the center axle of my manual chair and propels me. So I drive with a joystick on my manual chair. But if I'm going somewhere and I want to pop off of it, I can right there, leave it in the corner of the room and push around.
That's
So
awesome.
it'll like get me where I'm going, and I can leave it in the corner of the room if I want to dance or whatever. and then get back on it. But it has been amazing. So I have all three. And
well, let me ask you this. So me, I personally have names for my chairs. I have a power chair and a power chair. What is your names for your chairs?
So my manual chair is Saoirse, like Saoirse Ronan, because it means freedom.
Nice.
And then this is power assisted Xena, and like the warrior princess.
Yep, used to love that show.
And then my power chair is Zen after Zendaya, because it's. I hope this isn't appropriate, because it's black and it's also suave and cool like Zendaya.
There you go. Hey, you know what? I like it. It's different. You don't hear those names very much, especially the Xena, the warrior princess. So that's good. See, guys, I knew it. I knew somebody else would have names for their chairs. I knew I wasn't the only one.
You're not. What are yours though?
So my power chair, which I'm in right now, it's the Permobile F3. So it goes up and reclines and all that stuff. I called it Johnny Number 5, off the robot movie. I don't know if you've ever seen Short Circuit. It was made in 1986. It's about a robot that comes to life, and it almost looks like a track chair. It's funny. This isn't a track chair, but that's just where I came up with the name. Then my manual, I have it's like a Motion Composites. And I call that old blue just because it's got blue accents all over it. So, yeah, that's what I've got so far. But yeah, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
The last question I have, I think, is probably one of the most important questions. So, what would be the best piece of advice that you could give somebody who's brand newly injured? Somebody that's just like in the hospital now, looking up at the TV. What would you say to that person?
There are several things, that I had to go through in my head, and that my friends would all say something different. But I say always try new things, whether that means like going somewhere you've never been and you don't know how it's going to go, or like reaching for the shampoo bottle without your other arm balancing you, or like trying a new medication or going off of a medication or switching a medication, or just honestly like a surgery that you're afraid of, but it could help you in the future, because I had hand tendon transfers, and they gave me grip, and that's been a lifesaver. It's been a life changer. And so I would say always try new things. I'm always afraid to go somewhere new, but
when you do, you're glad you did. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to give you a round of applause for coming on the show today. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sharing us your story and all the different answers. Stick with me. I'm going to talk to you here in a minute after we close the show out. Everybody else, if you would like to be a part of this, or you know somebody that wants to come on Wheelchair Wednesday to tell their story, answer a couple questions, let me know. Shoot me a message. Email, anything. It's all in the description. Let me know. On Facebook, check me out. Maldito, I see you in the comments. Maldito Arnito, he's one of our good guys. Daniel Ruiz, I can't roll the R's because I just gurgle. But anyway, Quad Life, everybody else, thanks for checking in with us. Mike, everybody. And to everybody else, our viewers and listeners all around the world, we appreciate you. Stay with us until next time, another Wheelchair Wednesday. Say bye, Amy.
See y'all later.
Peace.